dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. Today is Monday, June 29th, and it is also a severe weather alert day. Let's go ahead and bring in Brandon Robinson right away. We've been talking about it all morning, and some of those severe weathers have calmed down just a little bit, but they're still in other parts of the county. Correct, Brandon?
Right, exactly. Parts of the area are still under that flash flood warning, but thankfully, so far, I have not gotten any active reports of flooding in the areas that are being affected. So that's good news, even though some areas by radar have picked up more than 3 inches of rain, closing in on 4. So if you got those reports and you can safely send those to us, please do. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning. The actual rain band has tightened up just a little bit there, but it's still going through several counties from Rockcastle all the way down into East Tennessee and our area, and of course through central Kentucky as well. We take a closer look at some of the areas that are under the gun right now. Basically Williamsburg, back over toward Corbin and Barberville, Middlesboro, down toward Harrogate. So it's starting to move into parts of Claiborne County. Now it was in Campbell County for quite some time. That flash flood warning there still in effect until 7:45 for Pulaski, part of Laurel, part of Knox, Whitley, and part of McCree County. The heaviest bands of rain have pulled out of McCree County, so I expect that to be let go. Wayne was also in there a little earlier. They did let that one go. Temperatures this morning in the 70s or close to 70 there, upper 60s, close to 70 area wide, and that trend is a sticky feel out there this morning as you head out the door, so be ready for that, especially if you ladies, if you've done your hair this morning, you're probably going to have some of that frizz when you get into that. I don't have that problem, fortunately, for myself. Out the door forecast this morning, low 80s for daytime highs. As we get into the afternoon hours, those chances for scattered showers and storms will continue. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. Protesters will no longer be allowed to camp overnight in Louisville's Jefferson Square Park after a man was shot and killed on Saturday night. It happened around 9 p.m. at Jefferson Square Park, where demonstrators have been gathering for the past month to protest the death of Breonna Taylor. One of the victims was 27-year-old Tyler Girth. The University of Kentucky alumni was known for his activism against racism and police brutality. Tamika Palmer, Breonna Taylor's mom, was too emotional to speak, but managed to express her sadness for the protester who died fighting for her daughter's death.
I'm grateful for everybody who has been out there, who are standing for Breonna. I'm just heartbroken about what happened, though. Like, I cannot believe that somebody will want to do that, that somebody will want to cause more drama, cause more violence, it's just unreal. It is.
Our sister station in Louisville reports one man, Stephen Lopez, is now charged with wanton endangerment and murder. Officials say Lopez was seen shooting a firearm into a large crowd of people at the park. They say bystanders returned fire in self-defense, and Lopez was shot in the leg. He is expected to survive. Louisville Metro Police said the suspect has been arrested several times over the past couple of weeks. And protesters are remembering the man who died in Saturday night's shooting as they gathered in Jefferson Square Park to honor his life on Sunday. Stephen Going was there and has more.
Candles and flowers now lining the scene where Tyler Girth was shot and killed in Jefferson Square Park Saturday. A makeshift memorial roped off with safety cones honoring the memory of the 27-year-old photographer.
It's heartbreaking what happened. I mean, he should be here tonight, doing his passion like he has been.
Benjamin Berry says he graduated from Trinity, the same high school as Tyler, though they were 2 grades apart. Berry and hundreds of protesters gathering at Jefferson Square to remember Tyler's life and the place he died. When protests began in May, Tyler used the power of social media to elevate the voices of those calling for justice.
We will.
On Sunday, those voices coming together in solidarity with protesters and family members taking a knee for Tyler.
He supported the cause. He saw the injustices with Breonna and some of the injustice throughout the world.
Tyler's father, Chuck, embracing protesters, saying he was proud of the life his son led and all that he supported. In a statement, the Girth family praying that Tyler's death will be a turning point and catalyst for peace in the city.
At all!
But with Tyler's death still fresh in the minds of those who gather here every day, the unrest grows. Protesters still frustrated with LMPD for trashing their personal belongings after Tyler died and Jefferson Square was cleared for an investigation.
A new mural in Louisville is honoring lives lost that were fueled by the protesters across the nation. Breonna Taylor is in the central focus in the piece on 11th and Main. The artists say it's also honoring others like Sandra Bland and Ahmaud Arbery, with plans to expand and add George Floyd and David McAtee.
I hope they understand that, even though these pictures are in monochromatic tones of black and white, the colors that switch over them involve everybody's heart. And I want everybody to really understand that when they look over at this mural, that these are beautiful faces that are not here anymore. And let's try to keep more beautiful faces like this alive.
The Feed West campaign came out during the mural creation to hold a food drive. Both groups say they want to use their skills to provide for a better community. Governor Andy Beshear sent a news release yesterday giving us an update on COVID-19 in eastern Kentucky. The governor announced 67 new cases, but remember, there could be a delay in some health departments reporting case numbers through the weekend. Kentucky now has at least 15,232 COVID-19 cases. Governor Beshear also announced 4 new deaths, bringing the state's death toll to at least 558. He did not give an update on how many people in Kentucky have recovered from the virus, but as of Saturday, we know that 3,730 people have recovered. And many 4th of July events have been canceled across the Commonwealth, but some Kentuckians are on the hunt to make their own fun at home. Matthew Miley, assistant manager of Phantom Fireworks in Frankfort, says there's definitely not any shortage of shoppers this year. Vacations have turned into staycations and people are loading up carts for Christmas in July. Matthew says customers are at the end of their fuse after being quarantined at home.
Been locked into your house for so long, and maybe you haven't been able to go hang out with your neighbors as much as you'd like to. This is a good way to get the whole neighborhood in, while of course keeping distance.
Matthew encourages shoppers to buy their fireworks as soon as they can because inventory is usually very low the day before and the day of July 4th. And firefighters want you to have a safe 4th of July, but a few reminders can go a long way towards making sure the big day is safe. As fun as they can be, what starts as fun 4th of July can end in a disaster. Chris Collins is the fire marshal for the city of St. Albans, West Virginia, and says that he remembers an incident last year where firefighters had to respond to a home that caught on fire.
I come to find out we had a teenager that was discharging the fireworks irresponsibly. One of them went over on his neighbor's porch, ignited the porch, and set it on fire.
Collins says never try to ignite a projectile firework in your hand, as they have seen several hand injuries because of that. And one major reminder, do not use fireworks if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
Time now for the Monday edition of Helpers and Heroes here on WYMT Mountain News. Those frontline workers and essential folks from across the region. Let's go to our first picture this morning, and it comes to us from Avanon. And Avanon says this is the doctors and staff from the West Liberty Veterinary Clinic in Morgan County. They say that they have really stepped up during the pandemic, during doing curbside services and even making deliveries to get their elderly customers to keep them from having to get out. While we have to make sure our we're going to keep our fur babies safe during this. That's what I'm trying to say. We appreciate all the great work that the folks up there at the vet clinic are doing. Our next picture was submitted by Teresa. This is Danielle Bentley. Danielle is a respiratory therapist working on the front lines at Baptist Health Hospital in Corbin. Her family says they are so proud of her and all the work she is doing. Thank you, Danielle, for your dedication. And finally today, our last picture was sent in by Debbie. This is Sandy Daniels. Sandy is a nurse at Highlands ARH in Prestonsburg. Debbie says Sandy takes takes pride in caring for her patients and is always smiling. You can even see that smile from behind the mask in this picture. Debbie says also that Sandy is a pleasure to work with and always goes the extra mile. Thank you, Sandy, for being awesome. And of course, there is still plenty of time for you to get your frontline hero or helper or just essential folk onto the segment here. You go to WYMT.com, search the website for the Helpers and Heroes link, click Add Media on the little bubble there that's got all the pictures surrounding it, or you can send me a picture on my Facebook page at Brandon Robinson, WYMT. Lacey?
Thank you, Brendan. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. We'll be right back.